If you watched last week's episode of Recipe Bingo, you know we hit Namibia, which means we're gonna cook Namibian breakfast. And if we're gonna hit Namibia 2 more times for lunch and dinner, we're gonna travel there and compare our food with the real deal. And if you wanna know what we're gonna cook next week, stay till the end. We decided to make a porridge called Okatete and African style donuts called Fatcakes. Let's start with those. Let's activate the yeast. First, we will need 250 milliliters or 1 cup of lukewarm water and 7 grams or half a tablespoon of yeast, and also add a little pinch of sugar. Mix all of that together and let the yeast activate for around 10 minutes. In the meantime, mix the rest of our dry ingredients together, which are 370 grams or 2 3/4 of a cup of flour, 80 grams or 1/3 of a cup of sugar, a little pinch of nutmeg, and half a teaspoon of salt. Just mix all of them together and make sure everything is nice and evenly combined. By now our yeast mixture should have been activated, and it's time to mix them together with our dry ingredients and also add around a half a tablespoon of oil. Then just mix all of that together and knead it for around 10 minutes until you have a nice smooth dough. When that's the case, we're gonna transfer our dough over into a pre-greased bowl. Now if you don't wanna fight with the plastic wrap as I did here, then you can also use a damp towel to cover it and let it rest for around 30 minutes to an hour or until the dough doubles in size. Now towards the end of that process, I would start filling a cast iron pot or a deep fryer with 1 liter or 4 cup of neutral flavored oil we're gonna use to fry our dough balls. Now our dough has doubled in size and we're ready to form little balls and deep fry them in our oil. Now since our oil is warm by 350 Fahrenheit or 180 Celsius, it's time to form our dough balls. For that, just take a whole bunch of dough in your hand and press them out with your thumb and your index finger and just make a nice little ball and let it fall into the hot oil. Let them fry for probably around 5 minutes or until they're nice golden brown. As soon as they're nice and golden brown, get your strainer, get them out, let them drip off the excess fat a little bit and put them on a plate covered with some paper towels. And that's how easy it is to make your own fat cakes. We sprinkled some cinnamon sugar on them and turned out pretty delicious. And it's time to make our Okatete, also known as a Semolina porridge. And for that, you of course need some semolina. To be more specific, we need 70 grams or 1/3 of a cup of semolina flour. I've seen this recipe before with different flours like millet, but we thought that semolina is the most accessible one and we decided to use that for this video. You start by combining the semolina with 700 milliliters or 3 cups of water. I would first add a little bit, make sure everything is nicely combined and incorporated before you add the rest of the water and just slowly heat up the mixture. I would recommend to leave it on medium-high heat and pretty frequently stir the whole mixture to make sure nothing gets stuck. And you're gonna do that until you reach the consistency you can see here before we're gonna add the rest of our ingredients, which are a sprinkle of salt, 1/4 cup or 27 grams of dry milk or milk powder, another 1/4 cup or 52 grams of sugar, and 1 tablespoon or 14 grams of unsalted butter. You're gonna add all of that while keeping the pot on medium-high heat and constantly whisk to make sure nothing is gonna stuck at the pot, especially after adding the milk powder and the sugar. Now you're gonna heat up the whole mixture until you reach a consistency that's a little thicker than it was before, and that's pretty much it. Just be careful, it's not gonna burn, and that's how easy it is to get your own Okatete, also known as Semolina porridge. And honestly, this breakfast was pretty damn delicious. Like, we ate the whole thing and it was really good. Now let's figure out where we're gonna go next week. And looks like we hit Bangladesh. So I'm super excited to see what breakfast we have there, and if you're too, hit subscribe and follow us next week for Bengali breakfast.